We thought as part of our education for our consumers, we would get down to some basics here. We throw a lot of different terminology out to the consumer, and it's very easy for them to get lost in all of this. So one of the things we want to do is just let's simplify and let's get some understanding of what we talk about when we talk about real estate agents, real estate brokers, and realtors. Because a lot of times you hear them all broken around and you really need to get a good understanding of what we mean. So let's start with broker, okay? A broker is an individual or an entity that holds an active state-issued real estate broker license that allows them on behalf or for another and for a fee or commission or other valuation of consideration does one or more of the following. Negotiates with or aids a person in locating or obtaining for the purchase, lease, or acquisition of real estate. Negotiates the listing, sale, purchase, exchange, lease of timeshares or similar designated properties. Manages real estate. Represents themselves as a real estate consultant or counselor. Undertakes or promotes the sale or exchange or purchase of rental real estate. Undertakes to perform a comparative market analysis. Okay? A broker has a higher level of education and experience. Of all the different real estate licensees and licenses that are offered, broker is the highest level. Let's start with there. So let's talk about now real estate agents, buyer's agents, listing agents, licensees, or salesperson. They pretty much all mean the same thing. Okay? It's an individual that's holding an active state-issued real estate license. It's also real estate salesperson license is its technical term, who's employed by a broker. When we say employed, they are under the brokerage's license, okay, to do one of the following. Sell or offer for sale real estate. Buy or offer to buy real estate. Negotiate the purchase or sale or exchange of real estate. Negotiate loans for real estate. Negotiate or help the rental or leasing of real estate. And perform comparative market analysis. You have to keep in mind that real estate agent or licensee or salesperson, they are an agent for the broker. Okay, so the broker is the overarching entity. The real estate agent works for the broker or is an agent on behalf of the broker. You cannot practice selling real estate without being connected to a broker. So you either are a broker and you're practicing real estate, or you're a licensee working under a broker. In the majority of instances, the agent is not an employee of the brokerage. They are an independent contractor, a 1099. So they do not have any employment relationship with the broker. There's a couple of brokers out there that have employees or agents, but they are more the exception rather than the rule. For the most part, everybody you're dealing with is an independent contractor to that brokerage. So when we talk about agency, okay, so agency now is a fiduciary relationship between the broker or licensee employed by the broker and the consumer. And once you sign an agency agreement, you become a principal. So a listing agreement is an agency contract between the broker and the principal to sell property. And a buyer's agency agreement is an agency contract between the broker and the principal to purchase or rent property. So when you contact an agent to come and speak with you about listing or selling your home, they are working on behalf of that broker. And your listing contract is actually a contract between you, the seller, and that brokerage, in which that agent is going to be your representative to the consumer and to the brokerage. If you are a buyer and you're signing a buyer's agency agreement, you are signing an agency agreement between you, the principal, and the brokerage of which that agent is affiliated. That agent is going to be working on your behalf as a fiduciary, okay, as well as on behalf of the broker that they represent. So right now we have brokerage, we have the licensee or salesperson, okay, and we have an agency relationship that is saying now that this individual licensee who is working on behalf of the broker is now going to represent you in a fiduciary manner. Fiduciary meaning that your interests, the interests of the principal, come first and foremost above all other interests, including those of the agent or the broker. Very important. So now when you hear the term realtor, so now we talk about realtor. Okay, a realtor is a real estate agent or broker that belongs to the National Association of Realtors, NAR. Okay. If you belong to NAR, you have to adhere to the NAR's Code of Conduct. So we have specific duties to the consumer. We have duties to the profession, and we have duties to the cooperating agent of which we are dealing with in a transaction. Okay. So these duties usually are far more comprehensive than the duties that are asked of by whatever real estate commission of that state is governing that licensee. So we have some basic rules that are needed to be followed as a licensee of that state, and then we have a larger set of rules that we follow if we belong to NAR and we can call ourselves a realtor. Okay? So all realtors are licensees of something. They're either a real estate salesperson, or they are a broker or associate broker or an appraiser. They all can belong to NAR. But not all licensees are realtors. Okay? So all realtors are licensees, but not all licensees are realtors. And only realtors, members of NAR, are allowed to use the realtor trademark. It is a trademarked name from the National Association of Realtors. Membership also is required often at the state level and the local level, the respective realtor associations. So in Pennsylvania, we belong to the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, and here in Southeast Pennsylvania, in the counties of Delaware, Chester, and Montgomery, licensees that are realtors are affiliated with the Tri-County Suburban West Realtor Association. So that is what the designation is, difference between a real estate agent and a realtor. Another term you may hear is broker of record. Okay, the broker of record is an individual broker, so it's a licensed broker who's responsible for the real estate transactions of a particular partnership, association, franchisee, or corporation that holds the broker's license. So you may have a broker of record for a certain office, of which there may be 100 agents operate out of that office, and that broker of record is the person that's responsible for all of those agents, their actions, any disciplinary requirements that may need to be made to any of those agents, any problems that occur, any violations of codes of conduct or code of ethics brought up to the broker of record, and that person is responsible for them, as well as responsible for the management and training of the agents affiliated with that brokerage in the broker's office. Another term you may hear is associate broker. So an associate broker is an individual licensed broker who's employed or working under another brokerage. So they have the same qualifications and the same licensing as a broker or a broker of record. However, they are not the broker, or they are not the broker of record for that office. So they operate with a higher level of experience, higher level of education but they do not have the accountability for the entire office that the broker of record would be. But they are equally licensed. And an associate broker could go and open up their own office if they so desired. They have the requirements that satisfy what it would take to open up an office. So I hope that gives you a little bit of understanding about definitions, about who your relationship is and who you're working with. And you know what? If you're talking with an agent, ask them. Ask them, who are you affiliated with? What brokerage are you affiliated with? Who's my contract with? Is it with you or is it with the brokerage? And how do I make sure that if I'm engaging you as the agent, how do I make sure that you're the agent I'm going to always be working with? And maybe not some bait and switch in which they sign you and then all of a sudden you're working with some other member of their team or some other associate or some newbie that comes on there. You have a right to ask those questions, and you should be asking those questions and getting in writing the relationship that you want. Okay. Hope that helps. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We try to help you understand more about your rights, your abilities, and make you a better educated real estate consumer. Have a great day.